Hello and welcome. Great to have your company here for episode 2 of Talking Tildas on TLL TV. We are here for a preview of the Matildas' first match of the FIFA Women's World Cup against Italy in Valenciennes later tonight. I'm your host, Nicholas Rupolo, and joined as always by Christina Trajceska, Valente and Michelle Morris. Guys, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
We are here at Ultra Football Zona Azzurri today filming our episode of Talking Tildas. Great shout out to them, and we will be here later tonight at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for a kickoff of the Matildas match against Italy. Just a run through of the results that have already been so far in this World Cup. It's been 12 goals in the first 4 matches. The tournament started off with France defeating South Korea 4-0 before Germany could have had more but only managed to defeat China 1-0 last night. Spain taking out South Africa 3-1 and Norway taking 3 points against Nigeria in a 3-0 win. Guys, what did we think at the beginning of the tournament?
I'll touch on the first match, the France match. France v Korea Republic. France, that was an exceptional match, can I just say, the 4-0 result. Absolutely exceptional match. I know that we all stayed up watching that. What did we all think of the atmosphere? I thought it was such an amazing, it's a great stadium. I thought the atmosphere was fantastic. The game was fantastic. What do you guys think?
I can double that and agree with that. What was the attendance? The attendance for that game was 45,261 at the stadium that night for that game. So you can already tell the atmosphere, freaking world class.
France are excited. Like the country itself are excited about the cup.
You can tell
Of course,
France, like the team, they made a statement, saying we're not here to mess around. We're gonna win.
To mess with spiders.
Yeah,
we are not here to mess with spiders.
Notice a clean version of saying that phrase.
The France match was exceptional, but also one that we thought we were going to find more goals in was the Germany match last night against China. Germany were pretty much camped in China's defensive third, but only managed to come away with 1 goal. The youngster, the 19-year-old, is about to join Bayern Munich, scoring the winner. That was perfect weather, perfect football, great attacking football, and 12 goals in 4 matches so far at the World Cup. I think we know what we're in store for.
Yeah, definitely. I personally think that both, as you'd call powerhouses, Germany and Spain overnight, both didn't really give us what we thought they would give us, but then they're probably just going out for a slow start to really bring it in towards the end of their group stages. But I would have expected more from both Germany and Spain overnight.
Definitely from Germany. And if anybody within the powerhouses, Germany is one that you expected to not massacre China, but at least give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
Someone that we hope is going to give us a good show tonight is the Matildas as they kick off in Valenciennes tonight. I heard over 15,000 tickets have been sold for this match already, so hopefully we know a couple of Aussies that are going to be down there tonight. Hopefully it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere as well. Guys, have the nerves finally found a nice place in your heart for tonight to begin with?
I'm not nervous.
I am.
Not nervous?
Well,
I'm
excited nervous.
Excited,
I'm
nervous?
excited.
You're not nervous at all?
Nah, we good.
You sure?
We good.
Chrissy?
I'm scared.
Chrissy's scared. Why are you scared, Chrissy? Why? Tell
What's
me.
wrong?
It's a safe place. Well, have you seen Italy's play over the last couple of games? Like, not just in the World Cup, but the lead up to the World Cup. So they've won majority of their games. If not won, they've drawn. They haven't been in the competition for 20 years, so that's also a lot of excitement for them. So they're going to be tough. And looking at the Matildas and how we're having some negatives at the moment, not only just with the lineup, but the way that we have played over the last 2 games with the US and the Netherlands, I'm not as confident as I was.
We will touch on Italy's lineup and some of their dangerous players a bit later on, but we'll get into our first topic of the day, and that is, unfortunately, on Thursday night, Laura Alloway was ruled out of the Women's World Cup due to an injury and replaced by Carly Roosbakken late in the afternoon. As well as that, Elise Keller-Knight has also suffered a small niggle with her calf. She has been cleared to be involved in the matchday squad, but it is still unclear whether Keller-Knight will start or will be on the bench. Michelle, I'm going to come to you first. What kind of impact do you think Laura Alloway missing out is going to have on the squad?
Look, I think it'll have some impact. Obviously, she's a big part of the squad, and she's been there for a while. And the team knows how to play with her. but I think Australia is strong enough that they can work around that, and that they can, make.
They have enough depth.
Yeah, I think
Well,
they'll be fine.
do they have enough depth?
Well, I'm thinking Lagazzo. I have enough depth.
Lagazzo,
that's what I mean
Lagazzo
by
at
that.
central defence.
Sure.
I'm not sure Lagazzo can play central defence.
I don't think she's a
Think?
defender.
I think
no.
she's a midfielder. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
Rose.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't put her
I
in
think-
defence.
No.
No.
The
Am I
backups.
being a little bit?
The backups that we
Am I
could
being a
have,
bit
the
wishful
backups,
thinking
the
here?
backups that we,
No,
so we, our starting central defensive pair, Alana Kennedy and Claire Polkinghorn. The problem that we're going to have is, considering that Elise Keller-Knight could, in some situations, drop into centre back. We don't want that to happen because we know that she's best in midfield.
Yeah.
But what could end up happening later down in the tournament, and perhaps for this first match, is that we may have to switch our midfield around, considering that Elise Keller-Knight may not start. So the question about the Netherlands match, Chloe Lagaza didn't have the best game in midfield. So the question is, should Elise Keller-Knight not start? Who? We'll go around the table and say, who is your midfield three to begin the Italy match? Go Chrissy first.
You shouldn't be coming to me.
Well, I'm coming to you first, Chrissy. Emily Van Egmond?
Definitely Lagazzo. We're
Lagazo
going to put
starts?
Lagazzo up there and starts. Because why not?
All we need is Chloe Lagaza.
Look, even though she suffered the ankle injury, the more and more that you leave her out, the more and more she's going to think that she's not good enough for the squad. And injuries also go with the mentality, the mental strength as well. Put her on starting, put on Lagazzo, of course, in the midfield. Van Egmond, yes, she's got the experience. Okay, screw it, put her on there too. So we've got Chloe Lagazzo, Van Egmond.
It's tough. It's a tough
It is.
situation to replace Elise Keller-Knight. 107 caps for the Matildas. You'd think Emily Van Egmond would start, even though she is susceptible to be turning over possession in midfield quite a bit. Rose, who do you think should start in midfield?
I think Van Egmond. As you can see with all my predictions today, I'm being extremely, our girls can go and do absolutely anything. I get a little bit like that on the first. Anytime Australia Socceroos or Matildas play their first game, I just go, yep, no worries, we got this. Yeah, chuck anyone out there. But no, yeah, I think Van Egmond, I think Lagazzo. I'm not good at these. I don't know.
Amy Harrison?
Amy Harrison. Well, are you confident in putting Chloe Lagaza and Amy Harrison, their first Women's World Cups, starting in Game 1
I
at the
wouldn't
World
put them
Cup?
together, not starting together. One of them could start, but one of them would have to come off the bench.
Yeah.
So do you think Chloe Lagaza should
I
start?
reckon Chloe starts, and then Amy Harrison comes off the bench.
I definitely start Emily Van Egmond, considering that
Yeah.
if you've lost Keller-Knight, you need some experience in the midfield, and this match is going to be it's going to be going 100 miles an hour in this match, so the midfield needs to be able to control the tempo. So Emily Van Egmond needs to start for me.
Yeah.
It'll be about Chloe Lagaza being able to be disciplined in terms of holding the number 6 and 8 position next to Emily Van Egmond. Which is exactly what Keller-Knight does, sweeping in behind Van
Yeah.
Egmond if she makes mistakes. But I'm going to go for Tamika Yallop to start at number 10. Yallop's
That's a good one.
had
Yeah.
a fantastic season, played 26 matches, 10 goals and 4 assists in the W League and for Club Il in the Norwegian First Division. She, I think, is a good shout to start, and this is should Elise Keller-Knight not make the starting 11. Going to other places in the park, from the Netherlands match, does your starting 11s change much? So let's go for the front three. Let's go for the front three. Michelle?
Obviously, you got Sam Kerr up front, Caitlin Ford
On the left or the right?
on the right.
On the right.
Caitlin Ford on the right, yeah.
And the last one, Haley Rasso, or do you maybe bring in Mary Fowler at some point?
I reckon
Is she
Mary
gonna-
Fowler would come off the bench.
Is she going to be okay for this match?
They're
Do we know?
they're sweating on her scan. It's not 100% sure that she will be fit for the match, but it's not clear yet. So there is a chance that she could still be involved in the match day squad. Chances are that if she is, she'll get 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the end of the match. But I think you'd want to save her, considering that it's Game 1 of the World Cup. So, Chrissy, do you make any other changes to your starting 11?
I wouldn't change the squad completely. I'd probably keep it the way that it was against the Netherlands. The only person I'd change around is I'd put Gilnick on the wing rather than Hayley Raso.
Why is that?
Reason for that is simply because it's a fresh start and something a little bit new. We're always used to Raso being either on the starting or somebody else up on the wing that we regularly see for the Matildas. Gilnick has proven herself a victory this season. Not only that, she's also proven herself to be on the squad, of course. Hayley Raso, she's proven herself as well. She's come back from an extreme injury and she's shown that she can make an impact on the squad. But I think maybe start Gilnick, put in Raso later on.
Plenty of food for thought here on Talking Tildas. We'll be back after this quick break. Welcome back to Talking Tildas. The Matildas begin their World Cup campaign tonight against Italy in Valenciennes. And whilst the Italian men's side may be going into a little bit of a rabbit hole, the women's side may be coming out of one. In the 1991 World Cup, they began and were quarter-finalists, and then appeared again in 1999, being knocked out in the group stage. But tonight, they break a 20-year hiatus from the Women's World Cup. Similar, well, not too similar, from the Socceroos' 32-year drought from the World Cup. Guys, Australia is the men's team is no stranger to being strangers at the World Cup, but what do you think that's going to do for the Italian players' mindsets, coming back from 20 years, a lot of pressure, a lot of history behind them?
Oh, it will be on. They're definitely going to give us, like I said, I'm confident that we've got the win, but they're definitely going to give us a run for their money. They are hungry. I mean, it's Italy. It's a country that absolutely loves their football, even though from what I've seen, I don't think that they've invested too much in women's football. It's only just starting to really get into place now. Italy and their women's football has been more about the men's football, but football is football.
Michelle?
Yeah, I think knowing that the men didn't qualify last year, that Italy women's team has qualified this year for the first time in like 20 years, I think that's going to give them a really big driving force to do the best they can, and they're hungry for it. I'm confident that we'll win, but it won't be easy.
Do you think this is a chance for the Italian women's side to show up the blokes and say,
Definitely.
hey, this is how you do it at a World Cup?
Definitely, I think so. Not only that,
This is how you do it.
it's like you all said, it's been 20 years since they've been in the competition. It's the first time that the men's team have been kicked out of the competition for last year, so they're going to have all of Italy behind them. Because what other football team did they have to support last year? Sorry guys, don't kill me. But look, Leichhardt was pretty quiet. Okay, this year I don't think Leichhardt's going to be quite quiet. Not only that, they've got it set. Their squad is quite strong. Looking at the games that they won before making it into the World Cup, they've got a confidence on them. Like Michelle said, it's not going to be easy though.
Fun fact, Juventus and Fiorentina, they played in front of just under 40,000, it was 39 something, 40,000 spectators at a match just recently. I think it was in February, if I get that correct. And the previous record was in 2008, was just at 14,000 spectators. So the jump from 2008, the record 14,000, has now jumped up to just under 40,000 spectators in 2019. That says something about women's football in Italy.
It does.
Well, it says something about women's football across the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing in Spain crowds of 60,000. I was in Spain at the beginning of the year. I went to an Atletico Madrid match at the Wanda Metropolitano, and the men's game, it had 60,000 people. But only a few days later, there was the women's Copa del Rey, and I was watching it on the television, and you had crowds of 45, 50,000 people packed in at these huge stadiums, lower ticket prices, and people are packed in watching the women's game. It's absolutely fantastic, and it's manifesting itself into this Women's World Cup that's just capturing the imagination of the entire planet. As well as that, when the Matildas are coming up against Italy, we've played each other 8 times, and it's very, very, very slim pickings here. We have drawn twice, and we've each won 3 matches. So you get the feeling that this match isn't going to be such a walkthrough for the Matildas.
No, it won't.
That's what I'm worried
But
about.
what we've seen also from Italy is that they have a very strong, a very fast, powerful team. So, Christy, I'll go to you first. What are some of Italy's strengths?
Well, one of their strengths is definitely Juventus striker Bonancia. Did I get it right? Bonancia?
I think so.
I got it right.
I think so.
We'll keep moving.
But yeah, she's had a great season at Juventus. Juventus, of course, won Serie A for the women's team. She is also a crazy striker. Looking at her time at Juventus, she's a player who's had 37 appearances and 32 goals. Now, I know that's stretched out between the year that she first signed with Juventus, which is in 2017, to now. But still, looking at that, that's quite consistent. Every time she's been put up onto the field, she's gone through. She's done exactly what she's meant to be doing. Yes, for the Italian national side, it's been a little bit different. She's had 48 appearances and 17 goals, but still, like we look at Lionel Messi, he's amazing at Barcelona, yet with Argentina he struggles. Sometimes that happens. That doesn't mean that the player is not an amazing football player. So I think that we should definitely take a look at her, be worried about her, because once again, like Rube said, we're quite, leveled with Italy. And 20 years being out of the competition, finally in the competition once again, we're just going to be looking for blood.
Rose, what do you think about the way Italy's set up, their formation? What are some of the strengths that they have that may be able to take advantage of the way the Matilda's set up?
Well, what's really good about Italy is they're very versatile. So they've been known to play as a 4-3-3, also as a 4-4-2, and they're a very attacking style that they like to play. Well, that's recently with the new coach. Oh, I don't know if she's new. Don't quote me on that. But the current coach,
Melina Bertolini, who came in 2017.
I thought she was kind of new. She likes a really attacking style of play. So I think that's what they're going to bring to us is very attacking. So our midfield does need to be quite strong, I think, because they have a very strong defence and they have a very strong forward line. And, to me, I think if we have a strong midfield, we should be right.
Michelle, strong midfield, we should be right, do you think, against
put
Italy?
It in the Aussie way, she'll be right.
Strong midfield. They do have a very strong midfield. They have a very strong attacking presence. And I think that they're going to pose a big threat for our back four. So our defense needs to be really, really strong, hold that line, because like we've seen from Italy, like they're very good at attacking and very good at scoring and just weaving their way through players. So
they have a lot of poachers, a lot of fast poachers on their side.
Yeah, they got fast players. They're gonna pose a big threat for our defense.
What do we think are some of Italy's weaknesses instead?
Their weaknesses?
I'm going to go straight up and just say, because they've been at the competition for so long.
That's an interesting point. So a psychological level, there's a bit of a weakness there.
Well, the country is on their shoulders here. I mean, they have to do it for the men's team who didn't do it last year. They may feel the weight of the world on their shoulders.
Michelle, do you think there's much of a psychological impact here for
Dr.
Italy?
Morris? Dr. Psychologist Morris.
Well, I actually don't think that they're going to be that worried about thinking about the rest of the country. I think they're going to go into this thinking, this is us. We have to do this for us, not for an entire nation. I feel like they're not going to worry about the men's team not qualifying. They're going to be focused on the fact that they qualified and that they're here now and that they're going to do it for women, not for the men.
Perfect. Well, plenty of analysis going on here at Talking Tildas. We will be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Talking Tildas. We're going to jump into another topic here about Italy. We're going to see who can really exploit their weaknesses that we discussed before. So, Chrissy, we've spoken about they have a very fast, strong attack, decent midfield, very technical midfield. How can the Matildas combat that?
Well, Lisa Devanna. I think Lisa Devanna is definitely one that'll help combat that. She's an experienced player. She's gone up against Italy as well in the past. Not only that, being such a tough player, that's what Australia needs in this moment. So, Lisa Devanna is definitely one that you should be putting on the starting, I think, for Italy. So start her up for Italy. Get her the girls to be just as aggressive as she is. She'll make sure that the girls have their head in the game for the first half. So in the second half, if of course she wants to, Lisa Devanna is the type of player that will make sure the girls get everything done within the first 45 minutes. So if something does happen in the second half, they're at least in front, or at least they have their heads screwed on straight.
Starting Lisa Devanna, do you think that could be an answer for the Matildas to breach the Italian defence?
I don't know if I would start her. I think Chrissy's definitely spot on with a lot of the points she made about Devanna going up against Italy. I don't know if I'd start her. I think, to be honest, I think Sam Kerr, even though it's, generic, Sam Kerr score goals. I think Sam Kerr can. I think that she's tricky enough. I think she's got a good way to weave in and out that she can do it. She's the sort of person that a lot of defence get scared around her, and let's just hopefully. I mean, I know the captain, Italy's captain Saragama. She is in the back. She is in the defence. So I mean that's a little bit of an issue because we've got our captain up front, and they've got their captain up back. So you're going to have the two captains opposing each other, and I think that that's where the battle's going to be.
For those who don't know, Sara Gamma is Italy's captain, 96 caps for the Italian, 97 caps for the national team. She is Juventus' centre-back, and she was involved in last season's Serie A winning team that conceded only 6 goals in 19 matches to win the Serie A with Juventus. So that is what Sam Kerr Sam Kerr and our Matildas are coming up against tonight. Michelle, where do you think this match is going to be won?
What do you mean?
Where do you think the match is going to be won? Is it going to be? We spoke about the midfield in Valenciennes. We spoke about the midfield and how we might have some trouble in midfield.
Yeah.
Do you think if the Matildas can't control the match from midfield, do you think that is going to be where we're going to lose this match?
I think our main issues are going to be with the defence. Our defensive line. We've had issues in the past. We look at the US game. The defensive line just at times was nowhere to be seen during that US game. And with such a young player, Ellie Carpenter, she doesn't have as much experience as everybody else perhaps that's she's going to be coming up against. And I think that's going to be a bit of an issue, but I think we definitely have a much stronger attacking line. Like our forward line is pretty strong, and I think we're going to do well once we get the ball moving up, but it's just about trying to get that ball from the midfield to build it up to the final third. So the defensive line is going to be a struggle for us, but I think up front we'll do solid.
So we've spoken about the defensive line, Ellie Carpenter, a little bit of inexperience out on the right-hand side, as well as some of the shaky moments that we've had in defence. This Matilda's defence is coming up against a red-hot Italian front two. Depending on if they start or not, Daniela Sabatino, 33-year-old, and Valentina Giacinti, both in 19 matches. Sabatino scored 15 goals and Giacinti with 18 in a 19-game Serie A season for AC Milan. So that's the kind of firepower that we're coming up against today. But, Chrissy, you mentioned her before. Who's a danger player for Italy tonight?
Let me say it again.
Let her go back to her notes first.
So it's Bonancia. She's part of the Juventus squad. Mm-hmm. She is also one of the star players that, of course, you go on the FIFA website and you take a look at the Italian team's profile. She's the first player that comes up as one of their star players. Mm-hmm. Of course, for the website, you bring out the star players for publicity and all that sort of stuff. But looking at the stats, she's just as dangerous as the rest of the Italian team. She's definitely a player that you have to watch tonight, and a player that our defence really needs to keep an eye on.
Is she a match winner for you?
She's part of the match winners, yes.
Michelle, dangerous players for Italy?
I was going to say the same one. I've looked at some of her goals that she was scoring for Juve, and my God, some of those goals are just top-notch bangers.
Yeah, these are quality players.
Yeah, she's incredible. And honestly, I'm very excited to watch her play. Like, I'm just keen to just see her play. Yeah, she's going to be dangerous.
Rose, you mentioned Saragama before, but is there anybody else that the Matildas should be looking out for?
Yeah, I think that Christina Trajceska, so she is 29 years old. She is Juventus's number 10. Quick fact in that, Juventus... I love my little fun fact. I have another fun fact coming up about Saragama, but we'll get to that. But no, Christina Trajceska, but just quickly, 8 players within this, the Le Azzurre, is that what they call themselves? Le Azzurre. I butcher languages left, right and centre. 8 players play for Juventus, which is always, I find that always really interesting when they all kind of play together within their own club, because they obviously know each other, they know their style of play. But Gorelli, in qualifiers, she scored in both games against Belgium and against Portugal. So she scored in both. She was actually chosen to lead Puma's campaign for their boots in February, which I always take marketing campaigns like that as a very interesting fact, because you know a star is on the rise and you know that they are a star when you got people like Puma looking out for them. But as well, fun fact, so...
Love the fun facts. Keep us going.
Fun fact. Yes, fun fact. I'm getting distracted by my own fun facts. I'm getting so excited. So Captain Saragama, she was made into a Barbie doll as the hashtag more role models campaign.
Whoa.
Isn't that interesting?
Alana Kennedy, be very afraid, I guess, is what we can take
the Barbie
from that.
doll.
The Matildas take on Italy at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time in Valenciennes tonight. We are right behind our girls as they begin their journey into the Women's World Cup final, which is what we hope for. This is going to be the tournament that is going to define this generation of players. I've been Nicholas Rupolo on Talking Tildas on TLL TV alongside Christina Trajceska, Rosa Valente and Michelle Morris. We'll see you for our next match on Friday for the Women's World Cup for the Matildas. Go Matildas, we're right behind you. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.